in marketing, for me, the joy is not in actually crunching the numbers, but then the insights that come out of it and the actionables that come out of it, and then seeing it work. Two involved with the numbers, number one. Understand what the numbers mean, and that is what.
Are these brands who are online to go offline or offline to online? Tell us your omni-channel approach to it.
Yeah, it's a combination. There are online first brands who are looking to go, across not just D2C, but also marketplaces. For me, performance marketing is not only about the numbers. Of course, there are numbers. And in the numbers, you don't have to get very deep.
I think so. Cohorts is such a powerful analytics method to understand your customers. Most of the people use it like a slang. All segmentation is cohort. So they're saying, okay, are you targeting the male cohort or the female cohort? Arey bhai, that's not cohort.
Everybody talks about male, female, geography and socioeconomic as segmentation. It is not. Segmentation is based on behavior.
What are your advice if somebody is like coming from an analytical background or a maths background, he's thinking about building a career in growth, marketing, startups?
Early in the career, build a breadth of use cases and understanding of what to do with data.
Talking about AI. So I'll not talk about what is interesting, the next new model being launched, Saurabh said this. What are the interesting use cases you have seen in action?
One of the big things that I've seen specifically in e-commerce is
One of the best ways to grow omni-channel is to focus on omni-channel marketing. And the world of omni-channel marketing has evolved a lot, from TV ads and print ads to social media and multiple areas. In this episode, we will unbox how omni-channel marketing works. And for this, we have invited Ganesh, who is the co-founder of Flatheads, a sensation brand which came on Shark Tank Season 2 and drove the love from the nation. His episode on YouTube, it is clocking more than 7 million views. After Flatheads, he has been working with brands and helping them on brand marketing and growth marketing. So in this episode, discussion with Ganesh, we will learn all of this. I personally came in contact with Ganesh about a year ago through a mutual friend, and I have learned a lot with him. What I found common between us is that we both are mechanical engineers and have passion for attention marketing. So let's get started in this episode, and if you stay till the end, we will learn about how Ganesh sees the world of AI impacting this whole world of marketing. So let's get started. So Ganesh, welcome to the DilSe Omni Channel podcast, and love to have you here. Honestly, I've seen a lot about your journey from your life to Shark Tank. I'll not go about asking you questions around what happened in Shark Tank and how was your experience. But
yeah, thanks a lot for that. There are, 15 different podcasts that keep asking me that same question. Yeah. You can go and find it on the web everywhere. But yeah,
let's go. Ab aage. Going forward. So, how has been journey after Flatheads, and what have you been up to?
So, after Flatheads was acquired, I basically took a break. Got my mental, stamina back, and since then, I've been working with multiple brands. First, I was in a venture studio. We launched about 5 or 6 brands in a matter of 4 months. Then, got into launching my own brand in locker security with a friend of mine. And then after that, I've been working with founders in their early stage and their growth stage, primarily helping them set up their entire marketing stack. Right. So that's been what I've been up to.
Okay.
But in the last 2 years, I've worked with more than, I think, 10 brands now, in various stages, from pre-launch all the way to, 100 crore businesses.
Amazing.
And it has been a fantastic journey. I learn something new every day.
Amazing. So, I want to understand this, you and I both are mechanical engineers. Okay. And one thing I keep wondering is, traditionally, people in marketing are not from engineering background. Okay, and there is a wave into it. You have been doing branding and marketing for almost like 10 years now.
12 years.
12 years, yeah. What made you move from that engineering mindset into a marketing mindset?
Yeah, so there is always this curiosity for understanding consumer behavior that was there. During my corporate days, I was always in industrial businesses, mechanical engineer, so went into that. But that itch was always there, and that was something that I used to look at in small hobby projects and stuff like that. I used to go and try to understand how market research works and stuff like that, right? So when I found my co-founder, who is a designer, and he comes from a creative space, and the way he thinks about consumer experience and consumer behavior, and I could correlate it from my Bain Excel sheet, analytical models, I realized that there is something interesting that can be done now that marketing is going increasingly digital, right? And this was 12 years ago. I'm talking now in that time.
Yeah.
As you go increasingly digital, there is an opportunity to actually micro target, right, people with their either behaviors or their socioeconomic profiles or their geographies or language or whatever, right? That wasn't possible before.
Yes.
With ads, offline and marketing, other than small activations and stuff you can do. But other than that, it wasn't possible on a larger context. But if you combine that understanding of consumer behavior, need, and then you build your communications and targeting with, the math-oriented first principles thinking about it, I think there can be something that can be magic, is what, while I was brainstorming and riffing with Utkarsh, he was my co-founder.
So he's
This is
your Johnny.
Pretty much. Well, yeah, sort of. Like, kahan Raja Bhoj wala panda hai, but yeah, he is a superb guy in terms of taking nothing away from him from his design chops and consumer perspectives, because he came from a completely different perspective from where I came from, right? For me, market research was always about surveys and questionnaires. His idea was go sit there, be a fly in the wall, deeply understand what people are doing, take copious notes, write stories on what is happening in the life of a person, come back and analyze that and then generate patterns, right? That was a very different way and an open-ended way of doing it. Whereas all our questionnaires and everything is close-ended, right?
Yes.
And that's when I realized the danger of the close-ended questionnaires that we used to do in our MBA times, right? So, so that opened my eyes to marketing a lot. And that just, I said, yeah, this is the holy grail. I want to hit this for the rest of my life. So that's what I've been doing.
Yeah. I also had a similar journey. I used to be in the tech doing data warehousing analytics, and slowly I moved into direct marketing, which was about sending direct mailers at Amex, moved into email, then into retention marketing, loyalty. So I kind of moved from the data side into the marketing side, and I fell in love with that, what you can do with the analytical approach to impact marketing. In fact, there was an article in Ken recently, which talked about that there are many CMO positions in big companies open. Because what is happening is the traditional marketer was a brand marketer. Now, what is happening is with the whole digital marketing coming in, there is a art part, which is the content, and then there is a science part, which is the performance marketing and growth marketing.
Okay.
So somewhere this whole role is getting broken on into two roles. One is a growth marketer who is an analytical marketer who drives the business and economics and spends the money. And then there is a content marketer who narrates the story, creates the right reels and videos, and then they collaborate together to drive the business impact.
Well, I kind of agree to disagree on this one, this approach at least. Yes, the creative aspect of it and the analytical aspect of it are basically two different parts of the brain, and hence these will be two different personalities, right? But the fusion of that is where
magic happens.
Actually, you get the proof of the pudding of whether your brand is working or not. And very few people are able to understand that, right? Either you are completely focused on performance marketing and running that through, or you're completely focused on the storytelling and you don't know what the math around or the analytics around how your consumer is behaving is. Ideally, a founder should have a little bit of a combination of both, or at least the founding team who is working around this. So it cannot be a one CMO role as you talked about it, but maybe it is two co-CMOs.
Yeah.
And one holding a brand custodianship, which dictates the way the brand behaves and the way the brand looks and the way the brand talks. And what it does, how it does it is the performance bit or the growth marketing bit. They have to combine together.
Yeah, and as we go down, the roles will end up becoming more micro. Okay, there'll be somebody who will be a great editor, you will be a great storyteller, you'll be a great script writer, somebody who's great at running campaigns, copywriting, and then the technical part, because marketing has become very technical also.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And if you see ad tech versus martech, ad tech is becoming consolidated between 2 or 3 ecosystems. Whereas MarTech, the number of tools which are launching are immense with AI coming in. It's a complex thing to get into that single role. I think so. One has to be balanced between both. Uh, and I'm seeing some very few people can communicate that skill.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting part happening. You mentioned about, definitely we talked about Flatheads and customer journey. Okay. And I'll share a personal experience. I was buying these shoes and it's like a black shoes. Very little bit it looks cooperative and it is very easy to wear. Okay. Like a loafers or something.
Wow. Ideal PG for me.
Yeah.
Doing Flathead.
Yeah. So I noticed this not by going to a store. I checked with my friend and he used to be in corporate and used to wear these black shoes and I was tired wearing leather. Plus also I was a little veganish type, so I didn't want to do killings to wear a shoes. So I said, "यार ये जूता अच्छा है." So he said, "यार I bought it this way." So I said, "अब मैं क्या करूँ?" I ordered from one Indian brand. It was not yours. Fit issue a lot and then I returned in 2 days. Okay. Then I said, I still want to buy it. That kept coming in my feed from different brands. So I visited the store. I saw the thing. Saw the fit. I went Skechers, Adidas, Nike and all. And I said, हाँ ये वाला ठीक है. Checked the price, Amazon, Myntra, waited for 1 or 2 weeks. Then I found one of my friends working in that brand company and I got his employee discount.
Nice.
And it's not only me, I think so. The customer journey is very complicated.
Yes.
Okay. If you could throw some light, how is this shoe market evolving and what is the omni-channel play in it? Like from your mistakes and learnings and what is happening today?
So the shoe market is very unique in the apparel space. 2 or 3 things why, right? Let's talk from ultimately you have to conform to consumer behavior, right? As you said, if the consumer wants to research offline, then buy online, then you have to do that, right? Changing consumer behavior is expensive. You can do it, but it'll cost a lot of money, right? If you're talking about conforming to consumer behavior, here's the thing with shoes. As opposed to a, shirt or a pant. Pant is a little more complex than shirts, but the fit of a shoe is determined by multiple parameters. It's the arch, it's the length width ratio, the height of your, from your heel to the top of your
and then the flat feet,
the flat feet problem, the width of your toes. There are so many things that are in a shoe. And there is a proper, study of this that actually needs to be conducted. And surprise, India has never done this before. That initiative is on right now. NID is leading it. But it has never been done before for Indians, right? And our feet are very different from Europeans or Americans or Chinese or whatever, right? Because, we are a different, race. We are the way we...
And even north and south, it's very different.
Oh, yeah.
It's 10 plus happening a lot in north and then other like sizes a little on the 8 or 9.
So, in order to understand that, you actually need to go a lot deeper into what fit is, what comfort is, how to design the right shoe. That is a proper engineering problem, right? It is not as easy as, creating a t-shirt. I'm not saying
that as you were saying, one thing came to my mind. The size becomes complex as you go from top to down. So think about when you wear winter caps, there is no size. There is a free size.
Yeah. Pretty
Okay, specs has less number of sizes. Okay, t-shirt is little वो हो जाता है. Pant is at complex. Move to the foot, it's the most complicated.
Well, good way of putting it. So as a result of that, just purely showing things online and understanding the size and fit and comfort is very hard to do. It has to be combined with an offline, and hence it's an omni-channel approach where people can actually come, try on the shoe, try on the fit, understand whether it's comfortable for them, and then buy it, right? So if that is the consumer behavior, and that is why if you look at shoe brands across the world, not just in India, all of them have grown when omni-channel has worked together.
Yeah.
Online and offline, right? Even the new digital brands realize very quickly that you have to go offline. Quicker than most apparel brands, for that matter.
That's the only way to survive, I guess.
That's the only way to go.
The returns will be very high.
Returns are higher, and the reason why, so the frequency of purchase is lower, and hence repeatability is lower, right?
Yeah.
So if you have to look at consumer lifetime value, you have to wait a lot longer. Right? And the brand has to stay relevant, which means online marketing is a lot more
And
expensive.
online you can only show the design, but how do you show the fit, breathability, all those fabrics?
It's a very touch and feel thing, right? So you have, even in early brands, I would say you have to combine roadshows along with your online marketing in order to get that touch and feel thing going of whether the customer likes it or not, right? Especially when it comes to the comfort angle that you're talking about. If it's a style angle, then there's a lot more that is forgiven in terms of sacrificing comfort for style. And style looks good in pictures, but the comfort piece, you have to go online plus offline. Absolutely. There is no question about it. The corollary to that is when you go offline also, the buying behavior of the customer is not, I'll buy shirts today and I will buy shoes. The buying behavior is completely different and disconnected in your head, right? Your apparel shopping, which is shirts and pants, is very different journey from your shoe shopping. And hence, even when you're putting up an offline presence, more people who are footwear brands go for EBOs, which are exclusive brand outlets, rather than multi-brand stores.
And why is that?
As I said, right, you don't club the shoe purchase as part of your overall apparel basket.
Unless you're getting married.
Fair, yeah. So yeah, we did do wedding shoes in one of the venture studio I talk about. That's a very different game.
Because then you have that, okay, I have to buy Sahara, I have to buy this, I have to buy this. And
but that will be a juti, which is one time.
One time, yeah. And you might also rent it.
Yeah. More.
Renting is big.
Renting is big? Okay, I don't know this. I need to figure this out.
Nobody will say that I rented, but they are renting.
Yeah, fair. It's surprising, right? In the US, renting a tuxedo is very normal. EBOs are where the behavior is set the way the consumer buys. Other than maybe Reliance Footprint and Mochi, right, and Metro, there are not many multi-brand outlets out there. For like Centro, for example, is one big one for sports apparel and stuff like that. But outside of that, most people's buying behavior is oriented, at least in the premium and branded space, oriented towards EBOs.
Yeah.
Because the even the person who is helping you get your shoe actually needs to do a lot of consultative understanding of what you want.
Yeah.
Right. And that is unique to brands. They need to understand the assortment and they need to understand your, your preference. So that's why EBOs are important.
Yeah.
Sorry, long-winded answer, but yeah.
No, yeah, I totally agree because I think so the biggest recommendation is the person who's helping you there.
Yeah, it's Chotu.
Bata has been my favorite. Like my mother will have every month she will go and buy a slippers or a chappals from Bata. I don't know, it's like a pilgrimage that we have to go there and do. And I'm surprised the way they have evolved over the period. They are still relevant. It has not happened like many of the brands have aged with us. Like Raymond's was a brand which you used to look up to, but I'll never go and buy my son Raymond's coat or something again.
But yeah, Bata, I think there was a crisis in the middle where they realized that, the market is, we are not relevant anymore in the market. But they have done a good job of coming back.
And especially after Hush Puppies, then Marie Claire, and then all the new...
Yeah, they always had those international collaborations and strong brands that they could actually come in to India with. And surprisingly, Bata is not an Indian company, it's a Czech company. And their entire strategy across the world has always been localization. Yeah. So in every country, it will feel like Bata is...
Do you know, there's an Indian brand. Town called Bata Nagar also.
Bata Nagar, yeah.
We used to think like it's like there's a Tata Nagar. Jamshedpur is Tata Nagar.
Correct.
So the localization is very key.
Yeah.
And
so incidentally, since the research on the Indian foot has not been done yet, the default that people go with in terms of size charts is Bata's. Bata has actually created that. That is the closest to the Indian foot measurements that we have. Okay. Right. So most brands in India actually look at the Bata size and then use that.
Yeah.
So lasts is what they call it, right? The shape of the foot around which the shoe is formed.
So tell me one thing, as you have been consulting these days, are these brands who are online to go offline or offline to online? Tell us your omni-channel approach to it and what you have been doing in that space.
So, it's a combination. There are online first brands who are looking to go, across not just D2C, but also marketplaces into, the new channels like quick commerce and into offline as well. There are offline heavy brands which have built, 100 crore businesses in offline who are coming into online as well. There's a baby care brand that I'm working with right now who has more than 100 stores out there across the country. Just helping them, with their D2C business, which is, much smaller as compared to that, but the potential is much larger because the brand identity exists and it's a very, very sticky market, right? To maternity and baby care. Once you got the customer, you got them for 3 years, right? Yeah. So that is a very interesting project. So it has been across online and offline.
And anyone who becomes a parent does a big diaper economics. It happened with me.
Do you have a kid?
Yeah, I have 2 kids.
Oh.
They are pretty big now. So I remember, I used to do this diaper math always, kahan se buy karna hai, kya karna hai, and end up sometimes over investing. By the time kid outgrows, then you are left with 3 or 4 packets. Then you ask your friends, "Yaar, le lo tum na, I'll give you for a discount."
This is like the Costco model. I think you're one of the few ways. I don't think parents have the time to do this.
Yeah, but now people used to do now with, I think so, quick commerce. They don't do it much. They will do that whole math. But tell me, what is the I am also seeing that coming a lot of requests where traditional brands are picking up omni-channel because they already have the offline distribution, which is definitely a hard one to crack. They have GT, they have EBOs, they have multi-brands, MBOs, everything they have, and they are trying to do online. Now, first online they do generally is Flipkart, Myntra. Okay, Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, and then they look at website. What has been your learning working with them? Is it easy to influence them? Is it easy to manage expectation? What are the challenges you face?
It is challenging for sure. We'll make no doubt about it. The 2 or 3 things that I've learned is managing expectations and setting the right context is very important. Like for example, when you go to a Flipkart, Myntra, Amazon, they already have millions and millions of people coming in every day. They already have the traffic. It is about targeting them through inside ads in the platform and then getting them on board, right? Now, there is an intent for people to come in and buy when they're coming to Amazon, right? They know they want to buy something. And hence, conversion numbers also look very different. They look much better on the platform. Of course, they have a commission, so there's an offset there. And when you look at it from an offline perspective, especially if you have your own stores, the money hits your bank right away.
Yeah.
Right? So that is the difference between a marketplace and a D2C or your offline store.
Yeah.
Offline, they are willing to invest X lakhs in the actual designing of the store, the interior and all that stuff, the capex, right? And the staffing, and then you start getting the revenue. Online, they expect it to be a magic wand saying, "Arey, people are coming on Amazon, they're already buying. Why won't they come to my website?" Well, it's not that easy, right? Because number one, intent is not there. You have to bring them from Facebook, which is a Instagram, which is a scrolling intent, not a buying intent, or, Google search, which is a little more intent, but not enough. And you are competing with everybody else there. Myntra is also advertising to the same audience. So you need to bring them on to your platform, talk the right language. You have sales clerks who are assisting the customer in the store. Your page, your landing page, your communication on the page, everything that has to talk the same language. So it has to be very powerful. It has to resonate what is working in the stores. They have optimized it in the stores, but here there is no optimization. You have to start from scratch, right? So a lot of the time in the first 3 months actually goes into expectation setting, saying, hey, this is how it will work. Initially, there will be an investment that you will need to put in, just like you did for your offline store. Eventually, you will start optimizing it and you will start getting into the growth curve. That optimization will happen faster than it happened in the store, but it is not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that is critical. The first 3 months are critical. If you're able to manage that well, then it's a much better relationship. If that does not happen, and it's a 50-50, by the way. So sometimes it will happen, a lot of times it doesn't as well. Then you really have to take a call whether it is something that you want to do for a longer term. Because then it becomes a distrust relationship, right? Yeah. They don't trust you with what you're doing, and you're trying your hardest to convince them that this is the right way to go. Eventually, those don't last, and those are naturally, attriting out.
So, and I totally agree with you about building the presence, then building the traffic, and then this other part.
But what has been your experience? Because you said that you've also had
Yeah.
multiple people coming to you like that, right?
So I'll tell you one piece. One is the way digital first businesses approach offline. Okay, so they will approach like first you gather traffic, then you gather sales, then you drive repeat and retention. And I learned it at Lenskart also that the first thing, my first project at Lenskart was to measure store traffic. And then I worked with one of my friends, Suren, he was helping us. And we first created the Google Analytics for store.
Nice.
So how much traffic is coming in, how much people are coming in, what's the store conversion, how many people are coming in a group. You cannot measure it basis the number of people coming in. It's a group footfall count. So sometimes me and my wife are coming, that's one group. There are 3 people coming in, there are 5 people coming in a group. So how do you measure it using the CCTV camera? Okay. So it's like your ABC funnel, acquisition, behavior, and conversion. See where people are coming, which aisle they are coming. So once we started putting in, we were able to understand what's happening in the store. But traditional brands, they only know sales and average order value. That's it. The other variable parameter they work on is inventory and assortment. So merchandising is very important for them and little bit on the store staff experience. They don't focus too much on that, I've seen. But they say they create great products, they display it well, and then it sells. Now, when it comes to online, the ABC, the acquisition part and the building traffic is the biggest challenge, which is very difficult to teach them. By the time you build traffic, are they still patient enough to do it? Because it takes time.
True, very true. There is a counter to that also, which is what has been my mantra going in, right? What I do is I first set up your retention stack and then move into acquisition.
So you take your offline customers to online first, and from there.
Not only that, what I also do is for every customer that comes in through the top of the funnel, they have to go through the entire retention stack. They have to go.
Just elaborate.
So the retention stack is everything from the point of purchase, right? They have bought something from you. What happens after that, right? There is a first order journey. You welcome them into your brand community, whatever. You help them through the journey of actually, tracking their shipment, getting their shipment. And then during unboxing, you give them something, which is interesting, that is Instagram worthy, hopefully. And then ask them for a review, get that.
So at the end, building reputation is
that is the first part. Then after that is, if they bought X, what can you suggest to them for the next purchase? What is the right time for you to nudge them, right? As you said, if it is diaper sales, it will probably be once every 20 days, 10 days, depending on the pack size that you bought, right? If it is shirts, probably every second month. If it is shoes, probably every year, right? So depends on what they have bought. And then are there things in your catalog which are cross sells, which you can, suggest to them. How do you add value to them and not just be very pushy on sales? If I get 10 communications from a brand and all 10 of them are, hey, there is a sale, come and buy. It just, at some point in time, I disconnect from it. How do you stay relevant with communications which are brand oriented, which are value oriented, that they get something out of, and sale oriented, right? How do you build that mix so that you get maximum juice out of everybody who is coming in and going out?
Yeah, I think that's one mistake many D2C companies make, and they keep bombarding you with communication key. Like they have a list of 50 types of sales which can be done in a year for every week.
Correct.
And there are some 2 weeks where they don't do. Maybe that's Shraddha and another part. So yeah, that too much of sale. And this is one thing which I tell in communication to my clients also is you have to build your content buckets. So one could be definitely sale. Another is helpful content, new launches. Then something very different like celebration and something personalized. In fact, on the topic of content, one thing which just struck my mind. So I was looking at one shoe brand's SEO, okay, Google Search Console. Okay, I'll not name that brand. Can you guess which is the top blog they have?
I'm guessing that it is about fit. How do you find the right shoe for you?
No, it was about, they had written a blog that how to prevent your shoes making noise during during rains.
Wow.
So chunchu karta hai na shoes, that is what. And that's like number 5 page on their search console.
My goodness.
So helpful content which does not have an intent to sell.
Yeah.
but it is unique. It is like a long tail thing. I don't know how many. I have never searched about something like this, but it works.
Yeah.
So
I give you a classic example. Pickyourtrail. I have been a customer of theirs for, I don't know, about 10 years now. From the early days. It happens to be a friend of mine who runs it, but I am a loyal customer not because of him. I started because of him, but I have been a loyal customer because of the way they talk to me and the way they service the entire, planning of the trip and the execution of the trip. They handle the international trip.
it's like India hikes.
India hikes is specifically for, hiking and stuff.
Okay.
This is international travel. It's like a farmer's cook, if you will, but a lot more personalized, right? So they don't do charters. They do individual personalized trips, depending on what you want to do, right? Number one, the way they build that first order journey, right? As soon as I come in and I say, hey, I'm interested, I'm giving you the money. How do you think about orchestrating a person's experience, right? Now, I had a family. My kid was, 5 years old at that time. We were doing our first international trip with her. How do you ensure that the kid enjoys themselves as well as the parents get a right thing, right? So if they have buckets around, do you want to explore nightlife? Do you want to explore culture? Do you want to explore kids-friendly stuff? Do you want to explore, walking around and trekking and backpacking kind of experiences? Do you want nature? They ask you these, and then based on that, they curate the trip for you, right? Would you like to drive? They will even give you a rental option, right? A lot of those things are nicely packaged together, very personalized. It just felt like they were, specifically doing this for me.
Yeah.
And then when you go there and when you actually are experiencing the trip, anything that happens, they have a Telegram channel. I think now it's on WhatsApp, where they are continuously talking to you, 24 hours concierge service, because we were on the other side of the world, right? Which is midnight here. During that time, any questions, like one of it thing got cancelled because of the weather, right? One of the experiences that we had. Immediately, within 15 minutes, they came back to us and said, hey, by the way, this is cancelled today, but there is an option available tomorrow. The tomorrow's activity you can do today because that's an indoor activity. Do you want to do that? And they shifted it within 15 minutes, right?
Amazing.
This is the first order journey that I saw. After that, I was hooked. And they are premium. They are not cheap by any means. From there, all the communications that they had with me, very rarely have I seen a sale communication coming through. Arey, this trip only had 1 lakh, right? Nothing like that. All their communications have been based on what I did. We are more, nature and culture stuff. 10 cultural experiences that you have in Europe. 5 things that you can do in Southeast Asia. Places that you can visit by season, right? Like Japan is cherry blossoms, right? So depending on the season where you can go, what are the places that you can visit? It has always been reasons to make you travel.
Yeah, inspiring.
It is almost like a travelogue. It's right, and that's what they talk about, and that's where they talk about other people's journeys, testimonials of other clients who have done this, and it is all travelogues. Here is what you want to do. He's giving you reasons to travel. And by the way, if you want to travel, we are there. There is no explicit or very less explicit thing that says, come to Pickyourtrail and do this.
Yeah.
It is always, Pickyourtrail is there in the branding and in the communications everywhere, but they don't explicitly say, come to us.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. And I don't know what their numbers are, but I definitely think that their email communications will probably have the highest engagement rates. Because just the content that they have built is unbelievable, right? And they have extended that to a YouTube channel with travel blogging, right? They've got influencers to do this as well with them. They are signed up with tourism departments of various countries and are promoting tourism with them. Unbelievable the way they have.
I love the passion which you're talking about it. They will definitely get a reel for this. But I am a very lazy planner. Okay, most of my trips have been planned like 3 days ago. Yeah. And I generally copy the thing of the trip of somebody who was done and was talking very passionately. I said, "अच्छा अपना trip का itinerary मुझे WhatsApp करते," because it's very stressful to plan.
It is very stressful.
And then you have to optimize for cost, time, bookings, photographs, Instagrams, everything you have to do. And then being a vegetarian, another problem.
Increasingly, that is better now. But 10 years ago,
10 years ago, it was very bad.
planning aspect of it and during the trip as well, right? When I was a bachelor, I used to do backpacking a lot, right? That you could rough it.
Yeah.
But when you have a family, it's very hard to do.
So I think so what happens is, people think ki marketing is one thing, customer experience another thing. The biggest driver of retention is not marketing.
It is customer experience.
It is custom consumer experience, and that consumer experience goes back into loyalty.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And in fact, when I was working with the Tata Group, one of the Nirmala Kumari is a professor. He was part of the GCC, and he used to say, and we used to go teach, try to get Tata Group to be educated on analytics. Okay, so what he used to say, ki Saurabh and team, your job is to tell them the value of analytics. If they do analytics with you or without you, that's okay. If they do with you, that is even better. But don't try to sell yourself to cut the purpose. And that's what I think so great brands like what you're telling do. Marketing has evolved over a period of time. Okay, they used to be the celebrities who will come in the summers, jump from thing, send you Coke or thumbs up, and the entire season is done. Then they will come in Diwali, and then they will come in if you are in the West, they will come in Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, every week you have to release lot of reels. I see this whole play of omni-channel marketing. When I have to do performance marketing, you have to do organic social, you have to do retention marketing, you have to do affiliate, influencer, and then if time permits, you will do a little bit of SEO. So how do you see as a founder when you were there and with brands, how do you balance all of these things?
Yeah, there is no one mantra to this. You will have to, you have to do a little bit of everything for sure, right? But if you find something that works better than the other, focus on that and push it through, right? Classic example I'll give you, a friend of mine runs this kids lunchbox brand called Basil, right?
Okay.
In the beginning, obviously they didn't have a lot of budgets. So they started off with very simple, they have twins, kids, right? Who go into school. So they used to create reels about what to pack in a lunchbox, right? Interesting stuff, right? How to make it cute, and they learned along the way as they did it. Then they went into dad cooks for the kid. So he used to make recipes.
And how old?
Teddy bear idlis. Basil is about little more than 2 years old now.
Yeah.
And I really like their Instagram, to be honest. And that was why when I saw the lunchbox, it looks so attractive. It's like a bento box, right? And there is no leakage. You just shake it and nothing spills up. But that's for the kid. So I immediately bought one. I gifted it to my niece. My kid was also using it. But the evolution of their social media, as well as his wife is a co-founder and she's from Amazon. So she understands the performance and all those angles very well. It's a nice combination of brand and he's ex-Uber, so he understands operations.
Achha.
But, supply chain, did counters things very well. And they did content. And the content was, dad cooking cute things like teddy bear idlis and
I know that the biggest struggle my wife panics about every morning ki tiffin mein kya banana hai. And then we have a list of 20 things and the kids don't want from it. Aap to kya boring banati ho. And then if you make something very good, so you cannot make very good also because your kids.
Then your expectation is.
The kids' friends will eat it away. So itna bhi अच्छा नहीं बनाना है कि somebody else will eat. You have to keep it till your kid will eat.
My experience as a kid was very different. My mom used to give me idlis every day.
Okay.
I hated idlis. So it was always a tiffin swap. So I never ate my own tiffin. But anyway. So they started there. Basil started there. They found that was working for them. And they doubled down on that. Later on, now what they're doing, they tried experiments with influencers. They found the mom and kid combination working very well. Now they're doubling down on that. If you look at their, last 2 months reels, it's completely with influencer marketing. So you need to find those things that work, keep experimenting.
Yeah. So basically they found that, okay, don't sell the tiffin, but talk about the food interesting ways and that will keep you engaged.
Absolutely.
It's not like that मेरा tiffin leak कर रहा है फिर ये किया मैंने नया tiffin लिया and this like you cannot do the problem solving.
Problem solving. You have to keep it fun and kids are always cute, right?
And you have to be positive about it. That's the main thing. And tell me one thing about this thing that earlier it used to be product centric marketing. Okay, then it moved into experience centric marketing. Then it's moving into content centric. And now brands are built around the founder. Like I have distribution, let's build it.
I'm a big fan of founder-led marketing, by the way. I mean, Shashank is the best example of it with Whole Truths. Shantanu with the shaving company, and all the Shark Tank founders for that matter, right? I think their brand as well as the brand that they lead has taken one step jump after that has happened. There are a lot of examples that I can talk about from founder-led marketing. I'm a big fan of Perfora. Jatin and his co-founders do a great job of it. One of the best email marketing content that I've ever seen, all written purely by the founders. And it's almost like building in public. One of the mails in the early days was, "Today I made a mistake." Right? We screwed up the packaging, and we,
very
here's how we did it. That brings reality into it, right? See, it is also a journey of the consumer that the brands are adapting to. Previously, we didn't have the buying power to really ask for anything beyond commodities. And hence, the communication was always product first, function first, the basic function of the product and what it will do for you. That's very simple communication is what it used to be. Now we have the luxury, because the buying power is increased, is when we are asking, what is it beyond commodities? Why should I associate myself with your brand? Right? What is my emotional connection?
Brand, you have to. It's a very complex equation. People will buy your purpose, and I don't know. It's becoming very complicated. Also,
it has always been that. People buy because of emotions. It is never a rational purchase with consumer. And that's what is beauty about consumer marketing.
It's not new. If you see Richard Branson, he built Virgin Atlantic on his own. And he didn't have a Shark Tank. He used to go fly balloons, do different crazy things, and
and that was founder-led marketing right at that time. Right?
Patanjali was built on founder-led marketing. First he built his distribution, then he did it, and later things are different.
Well, that is probably one of the best examples of how to do marketing in India, to be honest. Right?
First you build a distribution.
Because astrology, Bollywood, cricket works, man. ABC works in India. And religion, right? If that is a great connect that you can build with the product line that you have, go for it. Why not?
But it comes with its own risk.
There is a downside to it.
You cannot be so human and so unfiltered after a point in time, because lot is riding on yourself.
There are a lot of missteps that can happen if everything is hinging on that one person, because their reputation is directly tied to the brand. There have been multiple examples of that as well. Multiple examples of that as well. But coming back to why marketing has evolved this way, it is because the consumer is asking for more than just the functionality of the product. They are asking for an emotional connection, and they are demanding it now. And there is a fragmentation of the customer even from a niche perspective, right? Previously, everybody wanted the functionality of the product. Now, I want it for different reasons, right? Like, I always give this example of chocolates, right? It's a very simple understanding of how you can build niches, right? What is a chocolate brand for hunger? It's Snickers. What is a chocolate brand for celebration? Cadbury or Dairy Milk, right? What is a chocolate brand for gifting? Ferrero.
The Son Papdi.
What is a chocolate brand for kids? Kinder Joy. Son Papdi. Sorry. I missed that for a minute. We were talking chocolates.
In fact, one joke, So, Ferrero Rochers is sold so much during festival. One of my friends was saying it has become the Son Papdi of the West. And in India also now.
Probably, yeah. And
I hope it doesn't end up in that. Still, it has that.
Anybody who is coming from abroad, they have to bring that Lindt chocolate.
Lindt.
That is the other one that is going that direction. But so just with the same product, you can build multiple positioning, you can build multiple niches and multiple needs or emotional connections with the customer.
To build that perception so that when you talk about the emotion, the brand comes out.
I don't think it takes a long time now anymore, because your digital has enabled you to target that customer with that behavioral trait. So much
of micro content you can do.
Absolutely, right? And hence content becomes much more relevant now.
And what's also changing is, we are creating needs. Okay, if I already have a need for a lunchbox, I'll hardly search and I'll get it. I don't care whether it is a cello or it is something else. Okay, but a lot of the products are creating needs, and we are dumb scrolling the internet, and then we end up falling for things. And
I wouldn't call it falling for things. Come on, man, you're a marketer. There are things that resonate with you
yes,
in varying degrees, right? Now, it might resonate so powerfully that you might actually go and buy that product. But everybody is trying to appeal to a certain emotional connection with you,
exactly.
right? And that's what it is about. All of Instagram is about.
So let me touch something close to your heart, performance marketing. Okay, what has been your learnings and share your experience with it?
Yeah. So when I ran my own brands, my performance marketing was a little different from a lot of others. I'll give you a simple example. When we ran the mobile payments app Momo, it was basically payment at real world outlets like retail stores and stuff. This was the QR code scan in 2013-14. Because the consumer was transacting with the app or using the app at the outlet, and that is the only place where a quality consumer can be acquired. We were a digital product with offline marketing. We did not have a lot of digital marketing at all, right? Because at the point of sale is where you need to, at the point of payment is where you need to get that mobile payment thing going, right? So it was all about, waiters wearing our t-shirts, stands, whatever, desk standees out there, standees in the entrance, in your billfold. All those were the marketing that we did and activations on the ground, right? So that's what we did. So very different from classic digital marketing. Then retention was all digital. Once you're on the app, give them more reasons to pay, right? So that was all digital. When I did Flatheads, our hypothesis there was very much that the consumer is looking for a product like this, which was casual wear for comfortable wear for casual dressing at work, right? What is the hush puppies in the casual wear world? That was the target. And at least our hypothesis going in was it will be a good emotional connect to talk about, especially when and there is a playbook on this with Allbirds, right? Where they became the Silicon Valley shoe. They got all the entrepreneurs and the cool guys and nerds to wear it. And then that became the statement for the larger market, right? So the brand was positioned that way. That was exactly the thing we tried to do. And hence our marketing was more on LinkedIn, not on Instagram, because we were targeting people at workplace. Our core audience was working professionals, right? And who's very casual listening to work? It's the founders, it's the entrepreneurs. And that's where our target was, and that's what our brand core communication was.
First, people went into jeans, then they went into t-shirts, now the comfortable
shoes, right? So that is the natural progression. And so our marketing was on LinkedIn and Twitter and not on Instagram.
And you were running ads on LinkedIn, or you were doing organic?
No, it was all organic. And LinkedIn.
How much was the traffic you were getting from you?
At the initial stages, for the first about 6 to 8 months, because our focus was so much there in terms of content as well as reach outs. The reach outs, as in we used to DM on LinkedIn to people. I got blocked a couple of times with LinkedIn as well during those days. That's how I built my initial organic following, by the way. We had almost 30% to 35% traffic coming from LinkedIn.
And that time the LinkedIn must not have been so big.
It wasn't that big. Yeah.
Today we have 1.3 billion MAU in LinkedIn and 300 million from India.
Billion, that's the number?
Yeah. 300 million, 30 crore people are on.
But we also treat it like Facebook, dude. So, yeah, it's a semi-LinkedIn, semi-Facebook thing that's going on right now. So during that time, it was very effective for us because nobody else was doing marketing on LinkedIn. Now there are a lot of brands doing it, but during our time, it worked for us very well, right? So digital marketing for me is about, or performance marketing for me is about finding the right place and the right message to send to the consumer, right? We made a lot of mistakes in Flatheads as well, right? Once COVID happened, we always had an omnichannel strategy in mind. We used to do roadshows in, all the WeWorks and all the, co-working spaces, and then the IT parks as well, and all the flea markets, urban flea markets that are there, like Sozante. We used to do this a lot. But then COVID happened, right? And so our entire omnichannel thing went away. We only had to do digital. And of course, people were not buying shoes. So we were trying to force the issue. That's where we made a lot of mistakes, right? ROI never took off, right? All the storytelling that we did eventually did not convert to a powerful need to buy, right? So that has been a journey of learning how things can work and cannot work. And I have become wiser because of that. And that learning I have taken and I have used to, help brands in the last 2 years. For me, performance marketing is not only about the numbers. Of course, there are numbers, right? And in the numbers, you don't have to get very deep in the beginning, right? I'm talking early stage and growth stage, right? What you are looking at, most people, what they do is they focus on the outcome. The outcome is the ROAS, right? I spend X amount of money, I got X amount of sales. This is my ROAS. This is my performance ROAS. This is my blended ROAS, because there's also organic traffic up, right? These are the numbers that people look at. But my focus is not around.
And what's a good ROAS in that time? In that stages, early stage?
Early stage, so if you are anywhere in the 2 to 3 to 3.5 stage, 3 to 3.5 is like best in class.
In today's age?
In today's age, yeah. So if you are starting out with a ROAS of 2, that's a very good ROAS, right, to start with.
And then try to get repeat.
And then, you add on retention marketing, and that takes you to the 3 plus range. When you are at 3.5 is when you should start pushing the pedal on spending money, right? That's the mantra that I have, at least. Because if you look at it from a basic common sense perspective, 1/3 of it is cost, COGS, 1/3 of it is operations, and 1/3 of it is left for you for marketing. So in order to break even, you have to be at that 1/3, which means your ROAS has to be 3.3 plus.
And don't call your set.
So that comes later. Fixed cost comes later. But initially, at least, you are trying to break even on this, right? So rather than focusing on the number of what the ROAS is, if you focus on the funnel, right? If you focus on who are you bringing in, what are they doing on your website, how are they behaving, and how are they discovering and understanding the product proposition, what is their checkout behavior, or cart addition behavior, checkout behavior, right? If you are able to understand this flow, if you're able to optimize this for your consumer, then the numbers will come.
Amazing. Yeah.
Right? Initially, you start out with a conversion rate of less than 1%.
Yes.
Right? Typically, your new website, 0.5% to...
The discovery nahi aayega. When you search your word, it will be like 10th page.
And not only search, even on Instagram, you're just another new brand out there, right? And there are so many out there right now.
And your family will be the ones who's liking it.
Pretty much. And friends, yes.
Right.
There, how do you go from that less than 1% conversion to the next level? And there, because you are at such a micro scale, even a small change makes a big difference. There's a huge jump, right? So if I'm able to bring a better audience, the likelihood of that customer going to the conversion, if I go from 0.3 to 0.5, I have almost doubled my revenue.
Yep.
Think about it, right?
Yeah.
So just pure better targeting. Then walking into your landing pages, right? Can you optimize the landing pages for the right content? Open up Clarity. Clarity is free.
Yeah.
Right?
Clarity is the most underrated tool, I would say. People miss.
Yeah.
Many people not even go to Google Analytics. They try to go to Mixpanel and उनका ज़्यादा पैसा है कि मुझे दे दो.
True. There are so many free tools, dude.
Yeah.
GA4 is like...
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And then third console and then third. And then Merchant Center.
Oh yeah, GMC is another big one, which I don't think people still understand GMC.
Right. And GMC, if you don't integrate reviews, it's a crime.
All these are basic hygiene things that you need to set up to understand. So that is your marketing tech stack, right?
In fact, I'll just add one thing. I was reading this Adobe's transformation case study. DDOM, they have come out with that thing, and it helped them take from $2.5 billion to $22 billion. Okay, so they had 3 stages of their transformation, and there's a big Harvard case study on it. And they have published this DDOM model. It's called data-driven some culture. So what they have said is the funnel is that buy, awareness, buy, and all.
Whatever, yeah.
But what they have clearly done is there are initiatives on the top, which are like they have a diagram, and I'll put it in the B-rolls. Below is the tech changes you have to do, landing page optimization, payment processing, one-click checkout, all those things. You keep doing it, and on the top, you keep doing on content, awareness, targeting, this. But you have to balance both.
Yeah.
You cannot overdo the tech, you cannot overdo this one. You have to keep balancing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And initially, your understanding of this is not that much as well, right? You don't know what the consumer is doing, which is where something like clarity helps a lot.
Yeah.
Where are they going? Where are the heat hotspots? Where are they reach clicking?
It's maybe your pop-ups are disturbing the buy button.
Yeah, and now that AI chatbot thing, a lot of times the placement of that is so bad.
The placement is on the right hand side. The buy button is also
on the right. Yeah, that's a huge problem, right? You can't see the buy button. What do you do? So these are simple things that you need to figure out and understand. Number one, after setting up your tech stack, start understanding each part of the funnel. First 1 month, focus on what are you doing from a checkout perspective, and then move backwards, right? Checkout mein, are you making that journey easy, right? How many people are getting to cart and then dropping? Talk to the customer. Pick up the phone, call the customer. If they have initiated checkout, you have the number. Talk to the customer, understand what is their behavior, why they did what they did. From there, you can start building optimizations. Some people might say, hey, too expensive for me. Can I give them EMI options? Can I give them buy now, pay later options? Right? Can I give them COD options? I know COD is, a double-edged sword, but can I make it intelligent? Can I, like, with the risk?
Yeah. And I guess, there are tools available. What I saw is my wife has a D2C. She started about 1.5 years ago.
What's it about?
It's about home furnishing. It's called Coral Slug.
Nice.
So and I said कि तुम चालू करो मैं tech और analytics और marketing देख लूंगा, and that was the biggest overcommitment I did. But a lot of learnings, and so earlier we were using the default Shopify checkout, which is a very clumsy one.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we did.
It is a very European focused.
It's a European email based, pura detail, though GDPR compliant, everything nice. Then we implemented Razorpay checkout, and that doubled the conversion. Plus, it gave us the identity also, so we were able to call back. Okay, and that helped in the next way. So, Magic Checkout or GoQuick or Shopflow, all of these really help.
Correct.
Depends how much you can spend on it.
All the tools are available. You just need to make intelligent assessment of what is useful for you, right? Yeah. And that only comes from talking to customers, right? So, fix that. Then fix how many people are adding to cart. Right? Then fix how many people are actually coming to your right landing pages. What is the journey through the website, and where are the drop-offs? Can you fix that? Then move to the right targeting. So moving backwards through the funnel actually helps you understand from a small number to the larger number as well. You don't get overwhelmed with, "Arey, itne sare log aa rahe hain, mujhe pata nahi wo kaun hai." Right? You don't start there. You start here. So always focus on the small things that can make a big difference, and then move forward. That's the way I work. That's the way I look at performance marketing, at least, right? And I joke about this with what Raul Dravid used to say, right? It is not about winning or losing. It is about whether you've trained and you've gotten to that point where you can make this a regular process, and that process keeps improving every day. Whether you lose or not is incidental. On that day, you might have a bad day. On that day, you might have a bad pitch. On that day, you might not win the toss. It doesn't, right?
Rahul Dravid also launched a footwear brand.
He was a brand ambassador of Play-Doh, yeah.
Play-Doh, yeah. I bought 2 shoes for my son.
Very interesting shoes. Huh?
They are very comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable for sure.
Looking ugly.
Yeah, and that was the problem. Sitting was the problem.
But it's very comfortable. It was doing what it was promising.
Absolutely, yeah. But in fact, they're launching another range as well now.
So. Okay.
While this funnel is something that I focus on, one question I always had was, other than, Facebook and Instagram marketing or whatever performance marketing that we do, are there better ways to get paid traffic? Are there other ways to get paid traffic?
So, what I would say is there are cheaper ways to get paid traffic, but you have to play it well. Okay. UPI, if you must have seen in Cred, in Google Pay, Phone Pay, there are these coupons which come in.
Yeah.
So these companies are owning the 90% of the UPI traffic. Phone Pay, Google Pay, and Paytm. They cover 90% of the traffic. And you must have seen coupons coming in.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Okay. Have you used ever any?
Very rarely, but yes.
Yeah. I have seen brands who get almost 30-35% of traffic from there.
Wow.
Okay.
35%.
30-35% traffic.
Affiliate traffic is always there.
Yeah. But the world of affiliates have also changed. Earlier, the affiliates were of Cash Karo and Coupon Dunia types.
Correct.
Those are still for very value-seeking people. They will help that, okay, I'm looking for the cheaper deal. I've made up my mind. So I will get another 1% discount on Amazon. So I'll go through that.
Correct.
So that was one. Now what is happening is, if you are aware about the brand and you are able to use those coupons well, so there are, and it generally works for low ticket companies, like maybe 2000, 3000 and discovery. So the best campaigns I have seen is where you ask them to just try to buy, like a 99 rupees free lipstick offer, or a free
The free lipstick offer has really taken off, I know. And OTT play.
OTT premium subscriptions. So it helps you discover, because what is validated there is you're on internet and you have payment enabled. Okay, and you can do decent targeting in Google Pay and Phone Pay.
Yeah.
So that is, but it comes with this traffic nuance. So you have to be much better in your math. It'll get you the traffic, but is it the right cost per customer acquisition you have to do? And if you play that math well, you can scale it up. Plus, you keep discovering new places. So if you see in Zepto also, those coupons are starting to come. And the thing is, once the platform matures, the CACs will skyrocket. But you have to keep experimenting to get to the next one. And it also is a relationship, how well you can negotiate. Can you go and buy 10,000 coupons? And associated brands can partner. But it'll lower your CAC. Like a blended CAC will go down, but it has a cap. It does not have infinite audience like you have on Meta.
Absolutely. Interesting. 35%. Can you give me an example of a couple of brands that are there? No?
To think about the coupons you get. But many people make that mistake, see, what I would say is, it's an experimentation. Okay, like we do experiments on performance marketing, you have to do experiments on affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
But mostly, Google Pay has a very good interface. You can go and play around with it and you can run coupons. But it's not an awareness, it's a consideration.
Consideration, absolutely. It's a middle funnel.
It's middle funnel. And if you are able to sell a loyalty program, cheaper loyalty program for buy one, get one, you will be able to get it. And that was the biggest engine for that brand.
Very nice. Okay, I know what you're talking about. So
let's pick up another marketing. We talked about performance. We talked about affiliates. Okay. And we also touched upon influencer marketing, but any takes on influencer marketing?
Yeah, again, double-edged sword. You need to know how to use it well. Doing it too early will basically bring you spikes in traffic, but not really convert. And you will end up spending a lot more. See, influencer marketing, I see it more as a brand awareness game in the beginning. Conversion is still, at least other than the large influencers who have the pulling power to get people to buy, I don't think you should bet on performance coming from influencer marketing in the at least early to mid stages, unless you get a celeb on board and then that takes your marketing to the next level, which also includes offline.
Yeah.
Then it is something that can work. But from an early stage, I honestly think that even if the founder is an influencer, that makes a big difference.
Yeah. So like what Pulmonas has done, that they have Shraddha Kapoor as a co-founder.
Or Kusha Kapila with Anani. Right? I'll give you another very good example. Parvati Gulati. Have you seen her?
She came on Shark Tank.
Yeah. It's such a awkward product to advertise. It's weeks, right? But she has owned it, and she has done such a great job with the entire, positioning, making it comfortable to talk about, showing it by wearing it herself.
Yeah, and the comedy ones she does.
Oh yeah, the fun stuff. I think it is about how comfortable the founder is in being able to do this, because that is the most authentic content that can be created, right? Yeah. If your founder can become an influencer, nothing like it.
So it also depends. There were people who became a founder and then they became an influencer, and there are people who became an influencer and then they became a content. They became a founder.
Yeah.
So like if you say Revanth, the food farmer.
Yeah.
So he first became a
influencer.
Now he's getting into building his brand.
Yeah.
So I have one take. I was hearing the Zepto story. The guy Chandan, yeah. So Chandan, he was talking about, and he's an anti-influencer marketing, because he says, and it's a fair thing, that getting the brand story and the consistency is very difficult, especially if you are working with the micro influencers and all. So at the end, everyone will invent their own playbook. Just thinking about that you can do it. Because if you see Zepto and what they did with Zomato, they used billboards and they used copywriting, which was like nobody else is able to crack it. And then it's going viral on LinkedIn and people are writing brands on top of it with that. So,
So there are multiple brands who have cracked it to certain degrees. Swiggy does a decent job.
no, but
Obviously, Zomato is another level. Dunzo did a great job when they were there. So there are multiple brands who have cracked that,
playbook.
specifically text content marketing, right? Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So in influencer marketing, I'll tell you one interesting example. Okay. So there is a brand I know, they were trying to sell a gaming chair. So if you want to sell a gaming chair, what type of influencer you will get?
Gamer.
Gamer. Now think about a gaming chair will cost you about 15 to 20,000 bucks.
Yeah.
And what is the customer profile of a gamer?
He's broke kid.
A broke kid. Okay. Does he have 20,000 rupees to buy a chair?
Yeah.
Or he will go and buy a new headphone, or he will buy this. So that is exactly what that brand did. Okay. And they made that mistake. And they got no sales. They got some traffic and many people took the freebies. Then what we did is we ran an experiment. They said, okay, let's do 5 influencers in each category. Let's do travel, let's do this, let's do that, and electronics and everything. And you know what won?
Back problems?
No, the electronics influencers won, the whole tech gadget. Because people who are watching the tech gadgets are the ones who were gamers somewhat. Okay, they are sitting on the computers, doing something, who are like in the late, like 30 plus, but have money to spend. They're looking for the next gadget to buy. And chair is also a gadget for them. So if we start thinking laterally that, okay, I'm selling travel, so let's get travel influencer. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work, yeah.
So you have to get into multiple audiences and do it and run experiments and keep doing it.
So it reminds me of one experiment that we did when we were, one of the experiments that we ran was a organic e-commerce engine in 2012-13, right? That time. Basically e-commerce marketplace for organic food. Nature's Basket Online, right?
Okay.
That's what it was. We used to have like breads and honeys, basically breakfast stuff, right? A lot of things. And regularly we used to go to these organic bazaars and flea markets and stuff like that as part of our roadshows. And like us, there were 10 different people selling very similar stuff, right? And hence, while it was good to interact with customers and stuff like that, it was never something that gave us ROI. Then there was one event that was around Christmas, I think, or Halloween. There was an event in Taj, West End, which was for kids. It was a kids carnival.
Achha.
We're like, interesting. Let us try this out. So what we did, we went there and we put all breakfast items for kids. Okay. There was the soulful ragi flakes. Okay. There was, breads, which were fresh organic breads. Then there was organic honey, right? So all these like stevia kind of sugars, all that stuff was there in our assortment. That's the piece that we displayed there. Guess what? We were the only stall that was advertising healthy food for kids.
Oh.
Every other stall was candy, cakes, and toys and all the other jingbang stuff. But in terms of food, we were the only one that was doing this. Our stall was sold out in the first 3 hours of the event. And then we had to call our suppliers and ask them to send, there were tempos coming in and, getting more stock at the stall. That was unheard of, right? Wow. Because all the kids were in the candy stores, but the moms were here. They were buying this, right? So just thinking a little differently about it makes a big difference.
And that's what also happens is the difference between a customer and a consumer. Okay, so consumer to me are the kids in this case who are consuming the products, but moms are the customer who will go into a database.
They are the buying deciders.
So we have to keep thinking that it's not kids is the one who's coming in. You have to really get into...
Well, you have to understand both.
Yeah. And you have to look at what's the dynamics.
Yeah.
Like in Amazon, what happens? My card and my ID is there. If Amazon is thinking, she will think, okay, he's sometimes a 30-year-old kid, a 80-year-old kid. He's a 70-year-old man and 65-year-old woman. So our customer profile is totally confusing.
That is true. Yeah. In fact, the one big thing about Facebook marketing is also that the buyer, at least in India more often than not, is the male. because they are the card. But the decision maker for a lot of products is a woman in the house. So, making that distinction in marketing is also very important.
And on Facebook and Instagram with 65% male.
Yeah.
Audience. So let's get into the last section of marketing, which is the retention marketing. I know you are very passionate about it. So would love to hear your perspective. And I am also very passionate about it.
So I think I gave a little bit of a thought on that. I would love to hear your perspective too.
See, I think so. So I would say retention marketing is one which cannot scale beyond the point.
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
But it's the most ignored one. Okay, you cannot expect wonders, but if you play it well, if you have a first party data strategy well, then you can play it well. You cannot just say, okay, chalo retention marketing start karte hain. That is a problem, and then people give up. So you have to build your database. You have to think about, okay, do I capture my identities well, online, offline? So to me, retention marketing does not start with sending a WhatsApp campaign. It starts with building a customer database and knowing them, building their persona. What was he browsing? What did he do? And actually, what I say is the definition of retention marketing, people in this whole digital world are not taking it correct. What they think is, I have got these customers who have bought. I would say the people who have given you the phone number is where the retention marketing starts.
Absolutely.
So, and I can tell you, I've seen 10, 15 brands database. If you have X number of customers, you will have 3X number of leads. And if you grow this well, and you have all your anonymous channel of push notifications and all, I know everyone hates it, including me, but that also gives you a bigger reach.
Yeah.
So to me, first build your retention marketing distribution and then work on the campaign strategy. Everyone works on the campaign strategy. The people who work on this, they really win with.
Yeah, true. Now, it is a combination. Retention and performance have to go hand in hand. From a richness of data perspective, I think if you're doing D2C well, the way you can understand your customer and do things on retention marketing is a lot more than what people really do on the ground. Simple example, right? The first thing that you can do when you get your audience in your retention funnel is how much do you spend, right? Are people buying at less than a 10% to 20% discount? Now they are more high value purchases, right? They don't really care about the discount. They are more interested in the product, or they're interested in the value proposition, right? So that is one. Basically by spend, right? So what discount have they bought at? So are they high value spenders? Are they bargain hunters? They will only wait for a sale. When they see a sale communication is when they will buy. That's a big customer set, right? There are early adopters who like new launches, right? So, and that will be full price. There will be no discount there at all, right? So, those are the early adopters who are, you can target them with very different messages. So first, splitting this out from a spend and a discount elasticity perspective, right? Number one. It's very simple, but that itself is very powerful.
Right? Segmenting your customers correctly and then thinking.
Exactly, right? What have they bought? If you have a wide selection and multiple categories in your website, if they have bought X, what is the next thing that is adjacent to X that you can sell them? Cross-sell, right? So depending on their basket, what have they added in their basket and not bought?
Yeah.
That is another big one.
Right? And also how you show your tiny recommendation when you have done add to cart, what is popping up?
What is that product recommendation that pops?
And how do you up this thing by saying, okay, add 300 rupees more, and then you will get the next 10%, 20%.
Master checkout and even go quick checkout now. It's pretty cool.
Very good.
Yeah.
They have done it very well.
So that is one part. Moving into the next, now that you have done simple segmentations like this, recency, right? How often did they come? What is the last purchase? And what is the right purchase interval for the product category that you have? Based on that, can you send the right nudges, right? Recency, frequency, monetary is what the first one we talked about, right? So RFM is the standard thing that you can do. But now you start going deeper. You say, let me understand cohorts, right? Let me understand people who came in the month of January. How many people repeated in February? If it's a monthly purchase interval for you, how many repeated in February, March, April, and so on? Did the percentage of people repeating in the next month increase from month to month? Right? So January to February, February to March. Is that increasing? How can I make that increase? Again, that's a funnel, right? How do you get customers coming back again and again? And how do you increase the conversion rate at each point? Right? So it is not only moving month by month, but it is also moving across the
Right,
lifetime.
the month, yeah. So basically, you're monitoring the cohorts and looking at the repeat rates. I think so. Cohorts is such a powerful analytics method to understand your customers. One of the things which I also joke, most of the people use it like a slang. Okay, all segmentation is cohort. So they're saying, okay, are you targeting the male cohort or the female cohort? Arey bhai, that's not cohort. Cohort is when you were acquired. Gen Z, Gen Y, Gen R cohorts.
So my problem with my terminology starts with segmentation.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about male, female, geography, and this thing, socioeconomic as
And as
segmentation. It is not. Segmentation is based on behavior.
See, as we said, no, okay,
All that
employment
categorization.
payment is controlled, unfortunately, by men. Okay, so your segmentation is biased. If you look at the gender segmentation, you have to look at what the person is interested in.
Yeah.
From there, you impute it.
Correct. Absolutely. Behavioral based segmentation is at least the first thing that you need to communicate to your clients. Yeah. Right. So now let's get back to the cohorts, right? Can you do cohorts by the category of purchase?
Yeah.
Right? If the person is buying shoes versus is a person buying, I don't know, socks, is a person buying performance apparel on your website. Based on the category of purchase, you can actually have, for a person who buys shoes, the repeat interval is much different and the cross sells are much different, right? For a person buying socks, the order value is much smaller. How do you upsell? That will be the key to pick that up. For a person buying apparel, can you do intelligent product bundles? Can you offer an entire ensemble with including the socks and insoles and socks and shoes and everything else along with the apparel? But buying behavior is a lot more repeatable. So that is the next level of intelligence, where you take your customers and by segment you create cohorts and then start improving those. And this actually dictates your top of funnel.
Yeah. And see, what you're talking is not marketing. Actually, you're talking analytics. So
this is all numbers.
Yeah, this is all analytics. And that's what I say is, it's such an analytical thing. That's why people who are that analytical bent of mind, post principle thing are coming in. And if that's coupled with great content and storytelling, it can do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes, companies have proven, like Zomato, you will get a 5 p.m. notification, chai peeni hai, and you're done. Because then no segmentation are kept apart.
Yeah. And they used to do weather-based stuff, no? Yeah. It's raining. Chai samosa ho jai. It's such a simple thing. So beautiful.
There's no segmentation. Sabko bhej do.
Yeah. So, and that can be by pin codes, by the way. Yeah. It can rain here and not rain in Bellandur right now. So you can do that at a micro, hyperlocal level also, right? This is something that we had experimented with in Momo as well. We had a marketing dashboard for our offline merchants, right? Which are restaurants and stuff like that. अगर धंधा मंदा चल रहा है Tuesday को Wednesday को, you can target people who have purchased in other categories, in your category, the kind of items that they have purchased. If they are beer drinkers, then breweries can target them better, right? So that we used to do from a hyperlocal perspective. In your you can expand your radius. 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, depending on how much audience and how much budget you have. So at that time we were doing hyperlocal, right? So you can do a lot with.
Especially if you're sitting on the payments data, then you can do a lot.
Yeah, because that is like gold.
You know everything.
And billing data. You know what items they have purchased. Yeah. So we used to integrate with the POS.
So you had the bill also. You had the item.
We used to integrate with the POS actually in the beginning. But then that became a problem to scale, which is why we then went to QR code.
Initially must we get data later.
Yeah. But that remarketing engine worked really well. Yes. It was surprising even to us. Yeah,
if you are working on a closed loop ecosystem, like when I was at Amex, this is what Amex has an edge over others. They can see a lot of transactions in the ecosystem and their deep network connections with on the billing.
So how would Amex do it? But I would love to understand.
So credit cards, so there are two types of credit cards. One is a lending based credit cards and one is a spend based credit cards. So people want credit cards make money by the discount revenue. Okay, so they'll make anywhere from 1% to 2.5%. Yeah. So, and they will give back as almost 30% to 40% as rewards. Companies like Amex who are in or Discover or in closed loop ecosystem, they will give about 0.8 to 1% they will give back. So they are left with 1.5%. So they will play in it.
Mm.
So closed loop companies, they don't do lending much. They will say, okay, you spend more, I'll get the discount revenue, I will give you back, and they will make money in that. And then there are lending based companies who will play on the lending, that I will get you to buy a big thing and then I'll put you on an EMI or late fees and you will make money there. But you see a lot of data and then you do a lot of cross sales, upsells, and then you do offers. But I think so the game is changing because all this UPI in India, especially the UPIs are taking over.
Yeah.
And I'm in love with a lot of the RuPay cards.
Yeah, credit card and UPI, dude. It's a big. When Kiwi launched, I was one of the first customers.
I use the Tata
So
Neo
cool.
one. It's
Tata Neo is awesome.
yeah. So, as we conclude the marketing section, just want to hear your thoughts about, because few of the audience which are listening to us are young people, think about careers in it. So, what are your advice for them to think if somebody is like coming from an analytical background or a maths background, he's thinking about building a career in growth, marketing, startups? What do you advise them?
Yeah, everybody who has a little bit of an analytical this thing wants to become a founder's office. I don't know, CEO sidekick, or business analyst with deep data expertise. Guys, hold on, right? In marketing, for me, the joy is not in actually crunching the numbers, but then the insights that come out of it and the actionables that come out of it, and then seeing it work, right? So don't get too involved with the numbers. Number one, understand what the numbers mean, and that is more important. So in your early stage of your career, if you're able to build a sort of bouquet of use cases that you have worked on, right? It could be in different companies, it could be in an agency, or it could be in a company that has multiple product lines as well, where you are able to, or even deeply understand in a specific category how behavior works and how insights from data works, right? That would be the critical thing for you in order to position yourself for the next level in marketing. I'm talking specifically marketing careers, right? From a data perspective. The sooner you learn insighting, the more, and pattern recognitions, the more important it is, the more critical it is for you to get to the next stage in marketing. It can be everywhere. Even in social media, there is a numbers game to it.
Yeah, it's a
Right?
good number.
While content is bigger, there is also a numbers game to it for sure. Right? And consistency is the other piece that people keep talking about. So early in the career, that's what I would say. Build a breadth of use cases and understanding of what to do with data. Then take it to the next level by saying, can I proactively influence what is to be done? From not just inciting, from being a data analyst to actually being a marketer. Taking that data and doing something with it. And what is the right thing to do? Build a hypothesis-based approach. What that means is do experiments all the time. Some experiments will go right. A lot of experiments will go wrong. Figure out the right time to disengage from the ones that don't work and the ones that work. Don't fall in love with your ideas, because ideas are a dime a dozen and ideas will kill you. Right? Find the right experiments that work and keep doubling down. And by the way, the same experiment that worked last month will not work this month. Consumer behaviors change, targeting changes, competition is doing something else. Keep experimenting. You have to find different ways of experimenting, as you said, right? You have to keep.
So if I may add, definitely you mentioned about don't chase the title. Okay, founder's office is a glorified title. Something tomorrow else will come in. Okay, but I would also say it's the highest attrition rate title also. Okay, because you come with a fancy thing and then somebody is disappointed either side, and it's a very high stress job. But learn analytics, do this. I would also add one piece is build your distribution. Be a content creator to some extent. Pick up anything, write blogs, write LinkedIn posts, make reels, because the more you do, today marketing is easy. The best person you can do the marketing is for yourself.
Yeah, true.
And whatever you learn, you start doing it, and it'll build your own distribution and it'll help you discover.
Yeah. I think learning by doing is one big thing that works in personal branding as well, right? I mean, you've done it. I've done it to some extent. Just putting things out there, no matter how awkward it is. Like today, if I read the content that I used to write 5 years ago, it is absolute cringe. Right now, I look back today, 5 years later, and I'll say, what the hell was I doing? Right? So that will always happen. But it's a journey. You can't be,
you just keep doing it and you will improve, and whatever cringy content.
And you will learn a lot of things around what works and what doesn't. And you will also start paying attention to other people who are doing it. And hence you will start getting better. Right? That is the other thing about marketing. you have to have your ears on the ground on what other things that are happening around you. Because there is a lot of inspiration that can be taken from others, right?
Yes.
I'm not saying copy. I'm saying get inspired,
Inspired, yeah.
right?
And
This is
give your own take on it. That's important.
yeah, this is not Anumalik, this is Adi Barwan. Right? Make it better, right? That's the way to look at it.
Yeah, that's amazing insight, Ganesh, and I love the perspective. But any talk cannot end without talking about AI. Okay, so while you're working with brands, and I'll not talk about what is interesting, the next new model being launched, Saurabh versus this. What are the interesting use cases you have seen in action?
Huh.
If you could share that.
Yeah, the space is evolving so much every day that you come across something mind-blowing like every second, like, twice every week, right? But one of the big things that I've seen specifically in e-commerce, the space that we work in, is the intelligence that the AI chatbots are able to bring, right? The agent that is sitting there. Like, I'll give you one classic example. There's a like wedding and occasion apparel brand called Lacho. I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah. They have a engine on their agent on their website. That agent, while you are browsing through, it will pop up with very small nudges saying, "Hey, are you looking for a lehenga today, or are you looking for a kurta?" You will want to engage there, right? It is like your sales guy in the store, right?
Or it's like chai peeni hai.
It's a little small nudge where you want to engage. And once you start talking to it, right? Like, simple thing, like, I want something to wear for Diwali.
Achha.
Then it will give you, here's some great recommendations, but immediately it will follow it up with, what colors do you like?
Achha.
So
It's like a conversation.
It's a conversation, right?
And
आपको पिंक अच्छा लगता है, आपको पैटर्न्स अच्छे लगते हैं, आपको
it's like the भैया on the
वो साड़ी की दुकान में जो बैठता है ना, क्या दिखाऊं मैं आपको, right?
आपको ये चाहिए या प्राइसिंग चाहिए,
and then
it takes you through the
discovery this thing, right? It's beautiful. And then it'll nudge you saying, hey, take a quiz. There are 3 questions that I will ask you, based on which I'll give you much better recommendations. So it takes you to understand what the customer is. Now, we do this for retention marketing for a customer who has been so deeply involved with your product that they have actually purchased. They are doing it for the browse audience.
Yeah, that's even interesting.
That is 95% of the traffic that you don't know anything about.
And what happens is, say, if I have to go and think about, say, for Dussehra, I have to buy something. Yes, traditionally, I will go to open up an app like a Myntra. I'll go into the section, men's section, try to browse kurta and then find out. But if this...
It is not succeeding the entire.
I'm saying, help me suggest something for Dussehra party. Okay, and it will start throwing those things. So
exactly.
Rather than the exact product describing, I'll talk about the need. And from the need, it will help you find this. And I think so it will be a great one.
And it holds the conversation, it holds the context all through, right? And the beauty of that is, it I don't know what it is cookie based or whatever, but it recognizes me the next time I come.
Achha.
It's like, oh, last time we looked at the pink one, right? Do you want to try a different color now? That's the question that it asks. It is so beautiful. It is like talking to somebody.
So this is done by a company called Manifest.ai.
Yeah, this is the big guys.
Big. Yeah. So they are interesting. They are in Bangalore only, I guess.
Yeah. I met the founder, Sonakshi.
She's pretty.
Very, very passionate about what she does as well, right? So brilliant stuff. The more you are able to understand the customer through those conversations, the better you can hold them to the point of sale.
Yeah.
Right? And hence your top of funnel will also become much more.
Yeah. And I think so I'm a little excited about the integration which Google could do with GMC, because when you start typing there, it has everyone's catalog.
Yeah, it has.
And then it has the tryout in the window where you can put your picture and see how it is. So it can take it to the next level.
That is, yeah. So starting to do that virtual try-ons is the next big thing.
So which I guess Google has a big integration. Meta does not also have a good catalog integration, and Shopify and they are trying, ChatGPT are trying, OpenAI, but I think so Google, if they keep doing it well, they could win this.
They could go. So obviously it will be one of the big, the fan companies that will take this, but the micro use cases is where my interest is, right?
Yeah.
How do you build? So this use case that we talked about was a simple apparel use case, right? Not simple, but apparel use case. What if you take it to something that is very different? So, for example, wills, right? I'm working with a wills client called Asanil right now. What we are trying to do there is, can that be almost like a virtual legal consultant?
Achha.
Right? Because I have a lot of questions. I have no idea what bills when I'm walking in, right? And it is never a urgent decision for me. कि यार हो जाएगा, ठीक है, बहुत साल बाकी है, right? That is the typical behavior. How do you take them from education? कि why it is required? What are the nuances around it? How can I help you make that decision better? What is the information that is relevant to you?
Yeah.
Based on where you are coming from and what your position is. So can I ask you the right questions to build that intelligence and then give you the right advice?
Yeah.
It is advice. Eventually you will become a customer, but advice is what it is. Right?
So this is an exciting space, every time we meet, we'll have a new example.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So coming to the last part of the discussion, I have 2 questions for you. Tell me one app, like we all dumb scroll. Okay, I spend 3 hours, 4 hours. If I'm traveling, I'll be totally dumb scrolling. Where you have discovered a product and you fell in love and you would like to recommend.
My designation. It's a shirt brand. Their shirts are very, very expressive. Different colors, different patterns, embroidery stuff stands out, right? Visually, it's very striking. So as soon as I saw the shirt, I was hooked because, while you see black shirt right now, I'm a little bit of an aflatun on that direction, right? I like to experiment with different colors and patterns. Once I saw that, I was hooked. And then the kind of catalog that they showed me in the reels itself, right? And the way it was structured and the way it was communicated. I loved the product and immediately I went and bought. Then I realized there is a store they have in Indranagar as well. They're a Kerala-based company, they have a store here as well. Now I'm a big fan, right? So, yeah.
So the best retention comes from fans.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I'll tell you one of my examples. So I was looking at this whole gut thing, and this thing called gut basket came in my feed. They give you instruments or they sell you a jar with some kanji maker. So it's like a traditional kanji maker. They'll give you kits and all. I was seeing for almost 3 weeks. So then I bought it. Okay. And once my mother had made kanji and I didn't like it, and I said, "ये क्या बना दिया आपने?" But फिर मैंने बनाया. I चुकंदर लाया, काटा, डाला, बनाया, and when I'm traveling to Bangalore right now, put one thing ready out there.
Oh, wow.
So that's one brand I've liked it. It's a very simple thing. They're giving you a jar, they're giving you the recipe, and they're teaching you the basics. So they're helping you with the purpose. There's nothing fancy equipment. You can do it yourself, but very simple, but very effective.
Yeah. Talking of gut health, there's a brand called Pepping that came up on my radar a couple of, I think 6 to 8 months ago. They had just launched this fizzy prebiotic drink. हमें यार हाँ सोडा तो बहुत पिया है ये प्रीबायोटिक क्या चीज है and my wife makes kombucha at home so we have a lot of this fizzy stuff going on ये try करके देखते हैं and then I realized that they are available on quick commerce. They're on Instamart. There's a new quick commerce thing called First Club. I don't know if you know. Oh, it's brilliant. It's again Nature's Basket on quick commerce. Right? It's not 10 minutes. It's 60 minutes delivery, but good enough, right? I discovered them there, right? And they have this thing called guts digestive shots. So from soda, I went into the gut healthy probiotic shots. It is Yakult but with fruit. This thing. And they had one soft flavor. Mind blowing, dude. मतलब खाने के बाद मुखवास खाते हैं ना. Doing this, वो taste भी वो soft का है. It is so cool.
So you're an encyclopedia on D2C stories. So great. So last thing, one thing which we are starting in our podcast is we take a recommendation of a book which you are passionate about and we give it to one of the upcoming podcast speakers. So anything which you are passionate about, if you could share.
I actually read a lot of non-fiction. I read a lot of fiction. I don't read a lot of non-fiction. So my recommendation will be very different. I love the fantasy genre in general. One of my favorite books is series of books is called the Decode series by Terry Pratchett. Fantasy writer, guru of Neil Gaiman, who is a big fantasy writer as well.
What do you like about him?
British humor, very understated satire, and intelligent jokes. Like board house, but in a modern context, right?
That's right.
And he builds an entire universe, right? It's a world that's a disk, it's not a globe, right? There are wizards and there are witches, and there is this character called Death, which is my favorite.
That's right.
He is actually the guy with the Grim Reaper with the sight, but he's got a personality. He loves cats. He wants to experience what humans experience, right? So he takes on an apprentice so the book is called Mort. Mort is his apprentice, who is a human who takes on this, right? He doesn't have to die to become an apprentice of Death, because Death wants to experience human emotions, so he takes on the apprentice. And then the apprentice falls in love with Death's daughter. So that is the story. It's hilarious. It's a total Bollywood masala.
But I don't read much of books, so this is my ways to filter out the key books.
Nice.
So this is one book which I would gift you and recommend. It's called The Building a Story Brand 2.0. It's a very interesting book on and I discovered when I was teaching in ISB recently, and it talks about how modern brands are built, and he generally doesn't talk about brand building. Okay, he has a very different take on it. I'll not reveal the secret, but I would want you to check it out because you're into brand and this. And this book has a lot of QR codes. It has also linked to a course, and they have also put in an AI agent which will replicate the author's personality into it.
Oh, wow.
So it's a very modern way of doing it.
Good. Yeah. Thank you. I would love it. Who recommended this better?
So I was in the library and it was kept there in ISB. So I picked it up and then I started reading and I was like, so
lovely. There's another book called Obsessed. I don't know if you've seen Zed Antler Marketing.
Okay.
The guys who built Casper, the branding for Casper, for Allbirds and so on.
Okay.
You have to read it. It is so cool. Anyway, yeah.
Thank you. Great, yeah. Thank you very much, Ganesh, for coming for this podcast, and love your energy and storytelling. We can go for hours and hours, but I'm not sure we'll get a 3-hour audience to look at it. If people have reached this, it'll be great.
So yeah, awesome. Thanks a lot, and I learned a lot from you as well. Yeah.
So subscribe our YouTube channel and get notified by pressing the bell icon whenever a new episode releases. Also, I would love to hear your feedback, comments, things which you agree, disagree and learned in the comments below, and we will make sure we reply to every single comment. Also, if you want to learn and get a playbook, subscribe to our newsletter and we will share detailed playbook of all the things which we are talking about in the discussion so far.